In today's video, I will be listing the top 10 best ball handlers in the NBA. But before we start, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Jaylen Brown is one of the most underrated ball handlers in the NBA. The 6-foot guard is extremely crafty and has a variety of moves in his bag. Jaylen also has pretty good combo moves and a devastating hesitation dribble that he could freeze even the best defenders. He isn't the flashiest dribbler, but he is great at getting from point A to point B with minimal error. Jaylen is fundamentally sound and has mastered playing out of the triple threat and even the post. He is without a doubt one of the best post-scoring guards in the NBA. His phenomenal footwork and feel for the game is next level. Jaylen's ability to handle the ball in traffic is impressive as well. He can quickly adjust to whatever the defense does, making it extremely difficult to take the ball away from him. What also makes him dangerous is how effective he is going both left and right. He has the ball on a string with either hand, making him a tough guard for anyone. Number 9. Ja Morant is one of the most shiftiest players that only just started. Number 8. If you're an NBA fan, then there's no surprise that Walker appears on this list. Even though he has been having a rough career lately, that doesn't take away from the fact that he's an amazing ball handling with unlimited combos. A few years ago, Walker would have been much higher on this list, but nonetheless, the 32-year-old guard is still an elite in this department. He possesses some of the tightest handles I've ever seen, and has made countless defenders touch the earth in his career. Walker's ability to stay on balance when performing these moves is what sets him apart from other ball handlers. He can run at you full speed, then stop on a dime, and pull up for a jump shot in a split second. It almost looks unreal at times. He is listed at 6 foot tall, but many argue he might be closer to 5'10". He uses his smaller stature to his advantage and splits through many defenders with regularity. Many younger fans forget, or just didn't see how ridiculously great of a ball handler he was. And while he might not be the same player he once was, he is still capable of pulling off an ankle breaker. Number 7. Paul George's name normally isn't brought up when mentioning the best ball handlers, but I don't think there is any 6'9" forward who can handle the ball better than him. In his younger days, he would often get the ball stolen away by smaller players, so he had to make adjustments in order to stay on the court, and that's where he learned how to dribble at different angles to prevent that from happening. I figured out I could throw it behind my back and use my body to shield them from getting it, George said. When you throw it in front of them and then you make a move right, and then I throw it behind my back, they kind of lose the ball. Where's the ball at? And that's why they're chasing. They're thinking I'm going hard right and then I throw it behind the back, so that takes the defender out of the question. I just got used to it. This approach to dribbling is what transformed him into the crafty ball handler he is today. He now excels at changing the pace and speed of his dribbles before exploding to the basket. And with his long, big frame, he can easily shield off opponents, which makes him even more of a nightmare to guard. Number 6. Trey Young is exceptionally great at breaking down defenders out on the perimeter. His shifty and crafty handles are very flashy and a joy to watch. He has perfected the snatchback and mainly uses it to create separation at the 3. Having good balance is another attitude that helps with the execution of these moves. Young is one of the only players that continuously attempts to nutmeg players, and more times than not, he's successful. He specializes in making defenders look silly, and honestly, when he's in the zone, there's nothing you can do. With him being a great shooter, good finisher, and a great passer, and he makes the defense guess a lot, and that versatility alone makes him very unpredictable. The crafty guard even made up his own move, which he says helps smaller guards like himself get shots off more quickly, and this move has barely anything to do with his dribble, but instead focuses on the defender. I automatically know he's not going to let me go that way, Young says. I take 1 or 2 hard dribbles to make it seem like I'm about to go that way. As soon as he bites, I wrap it around my back. This strategic mindset allows him to break down defenders with ease. Number 5. Luka Magic is arguably a top 5 defender in the NBA. He has tremendous IQ and a natural feel for scoring the basketball, and what makes him an elite scorer is his ability to toy with defenders out on the perimeter until he finally decides to throw a flashy pass or shoot a step-back 3. At 6'7", Luka is able to dribble extremely low to the ground, which makes it even harder to guard if you're a defender, and his huge 230-pound frame also serves as a shield, which he uses to his advantage. What fascinates me about his game is that he isn't a quicker dribbler or an athlete than any of the other guys I mentioned so far, but yet he is just as effective. This is because every move he does serves a purpose. He doesn't waste dribbles and seems to always be thinking ahead of the defense. Another overlooked aspect of this game is how well he reacts to the defender. The moment he catches you off balance or with your hands down, he will make you pay every time. Number 4. Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards ever and is known as the point god. Paul is a master at handling the ball and has been throughout his entire career. He has great court vision and IQ, which allows him to protect the ball from opposing defenders. Paul has also mastered the ability to isolate big men out on the perimeter, making him one of the last guys you want to be on an island with. He truly has the ball on a string, and even at this stage in his career, he is still one of the best at handling the rock. He rarely becomes startled by double teams because within seconds, he's able to break free, which I know is very stressful for the defense. He isn't the quickest or the biggest guy on the floor, but his skill set's off the charts. The basketball genius uses various veteran ball handling tactics to score, pass, or even draw fouls. The 36-year-old is still playing at an elite level, and while he doesn't ISO players like he used to, he can still pull an ankle breaker off every once in a while. Number 3. James Harden will go down as one of the best isolation scorers of all time. At one time, people were even calling him the best scorer of all time. His ability to rock defenders to sleep was incredible to watch. Well, to most NBA fans at least. Chicago Bulls legend Scottie Pippen thinks he dribbles entirely too much and had this to say when James played for the Rockets. Sometimes, when I watched Harden play for the Houston Rockets, bouncing the ball up and down, I felt as if my life were passing me by. Pippen wrote, "I wanted to shout at the TV, 'For God's sakes, James, stop dribbling!'" While there is some truth to what he said, it's still difficult to deny just how skilled of a ball handler he is. James always plays at his own pace and doesn't ever allow defenders to speed him up. This allows him to conserve energy while also controlling the game at the same time. Although his game has regressed in many people's eyes, he has still shown the ability to get past anyone whenever he wants to. And with his famous step back still a useful tool in his bag, you can expect him to continue being a dribbling machine. Number 2. Curry's handle is sometimes overlooked by how great of a shooter he is. But what many fail to realize is his dribble moves often set up his circus point 3 shots. He very often uses a variety of hesitation moves to get the defender to react, and when they do, he lets it fly from half court. His ability to shoot from distance is what really makes his hesitation moves so effective. Not only that, Curry is a crafty finisher around the basket and gets there by shaking defenders and running in for an easy layup. Everyone remembers the iconic moment when he crossed Chris Paul so badly he collapsed to the floor, or the time he dribbled between the entire Clippers defense before chunking up a wild shot attempt, which fortunately went in. My point is, Curry has shown time and time again that he is one of the best ball handlers to ever play the game, and fast forward to today, he still lives up to that title. Number 1. Many of you watching this video clicked on here already knowing who the clear number 1 was. Kyrie Irving is in another world when it comes to dribbling. He is even considered to be the best ball handler in NBA history. Every game, he does a string of moves that will leave your mouth open in shock. He has been known as the best dribbler for nearly a decade now. Look at what other NBA players said about him in recent years. "Hands down, Kyrie has the best ball handling skills that we have in our league," said Paul Millsap. "The way he reads defenses, the way he reads your feet, it's unbelievable. His biggest asset is his creativity. He is one of the most creative point guards we have." Even a younger Curry had this to say, "He is able to use both hands and he's shifty and crafty," Curry said. "He changes speeds to keep people off balance. Perhaps the best way to put it into words, he has an uncanny kind of ability to go one way, stop on a dime, right to left to right, whichever, and still be on balance and get by you. It's unpredictable. You just don't know which way he is going." All in all, Uncle Drew doesn't have any weaknesses, and when it comes to dribbling a basketball, he is a wizard with incomparable skill and talent. Did you enjoy the video? If so, hit the like button and subscribe to NBA Swish for more amazing NBA content like this. Take care, and I hope to see you in the next one.